Today's decision on interest rates was the last thing that many homeowners wanted, and certainly not what the Albanese government wanted either. I mean, it's not what Treasurer Jim Chalmers had said was needed. The Reserve Bank Board today lifted rates by another 25 basis points, adding another $76 a week to the interest bill of people with a mortgage of $500,000. The Treasurer sounded naturally unhappy today and put all the blame on the Reserve Bank.
They take these decisions independently. They can explain those decisions, and I refer you to the statement for the explanation of what's happened today.
And to know why Chalmers was unhappy, you check the latest news poll. Doesn't just show the Albanese government's popularity is sinking even more, even though it's still ahead of the Liberals, 52 to 48, but the direction is clear. It also shows why the government is going south and will probably keep going like that. Cost of living. I mean, people are screaming out for help. More than 80% of Australians polled say they want the government to give them relief from their energy bills and fuel prices instead. I mean, what happened to that promise to cut electricity bills by $275? Three-quarters want the government to cut its spending and give tax cuts, but none of that is likely to happen anytime soon with this government. Joining me is the country's top finance writer, Terry McCrann. Terry, thank you, from the Herald, the Sun, I should say. Terry, thank you for your time. You thought this would be a 50-50 decision, could go either way, but you wrote that Chalmers actually was wrong to try to bully the bank into not cutting rates. The Reserve Bank has called this bluff, lifted rates anyway. Why?
Andrew, this is the rate rise we really did not need at this time. And I'm not thinking of spoiling Melbourne Cup Day, but spoiling the lives, as you've indicated, of a lot of borrowers out there. This was the rate rise we did not need right now, but maybe you can blame Jim Chalmers for this rate rise because he tried to bully or maybe advise the Reserve Bank against raising rates. And it was really a test of strength then, it became a test of strength then for Michele Bullock, both in terms of would she take instruction from the Treasurer, but also would she be able to lead her board to take the tough decisions in the face of a Treasurer that was trying to heavy both her and the board. So I think that this was a rate rise you didn't need, but you can blame Jim Chalmers for getting it right now. It would have been better if you look at all the facts, in my judgment, for the Reserve Bank to have waited to see what was happening through the September quarter, through Christmas. Plenty of time to make that decision. Inflation wasn't going to run away. We weren't going to have 10, 15% inflation bubbling over because we didn't have this rate rise. But I think that we get to the new year, we might find that this was the rate rise too far.
Well, that's disturbing. What will that mean? What will that look like?
Well, I'm not saying we're going to have a replay of 1990 when we had a really crushing recession, but we might find that we get into 2024 that inflation is coming back as the Reserve Bank has been planning in a gentle fashion rather than trying to smash it down literally overnight. And people's spending power has been dramatically impacted, not just if you've got a home loan and you've got to meet those repayments, but all those cost of living increases, which take impact on people's ability to increase demand to spend money into the economy. So I think that the path that the Reserve Bank was on under Philip Lowe and at the start with Michele Bullock was the right path to gently bring inflation down through 2024 without causing a serious recession. Now, I think Michele Bullock has drawn two lines in the sand. One, she won't be instructed by the Treasurer. She and the board will make the decisions as they see fit. And there are plenty of reasons that they could argue justifies this rate rise. I don't think it should have been today, maybe next month, maybe early in the new year, if you really needed it. But secondly, the line she's drawn, and this is very important, is that when push comes to shove and she has to choose between fighting inflation and fighting unemployment, she will fight inflation. And if the jobless rate has to go up above 4%, above 5%, she will cop it if that's necessary to get inflation down. That's a very, very big message that she sent today to everybody.
Terry McCrann, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that.